Hey there. Welcome back to these conversations with no one. Although, apparently, I guess I'm no longer literally talking to no one anymore. It's an interesting place to be in. I have to say I'm grateful for the time people have chosen to spend listening to me speak about my experience, and I'm grateful for the comments you've left me. I feel much more comfortable with dialogues than the echo chamber of monologues. So that inspired me to create this fourth conversation where I can interact with any comments or feedback or inspirations that people have given me when they share their perspectives. And a couple of you rightly pointed out that my previous use of the phrase, I'm experiencing a certain state of non-duality, was actually rather nonsensical, as experiencing a state, any kind of state, is duality. When I was actually talking to no one, this didn't really matter because I understood what I was talking about. But I think what I was trying to express is that I'm experiencing a certain state of non-identification with duality, a certain detachment from duality. I say certain state because it's not a complete disassociation, rather more of a core paradigm shift that forever changed my relationship with duality. I don't think I could ever go back to identifying with these things. And if the terms non-duality or any terms like that I might use are not the correct one, if anyone who's listened to a few of these conversations has a different perspective on what I perceive to be experiencing, I'd love to hear it. My paradigm shift came maybe a couple years before I discovered what non-duality was and studied all I could about it. And I was drawn to it because I was amazed that other people had written about what I was actually experiencing. I have no attachment to how I label this because words or ideas won't change the actual experience. But I would like to find the words that best convey this to other people so there's more understanding. I also know that no matter what words I use, one person's enlightenment is another person's mental illness or delusions. But if the results in the end are a beautiful, functional experience of life that causes no harm, then it doesn't matter if you call it enlightenment or a delusion. At the end, they're both the same thing. And from my current perspective, we're all delusional. That's just us experiencing reality. That's the delusion. And where we seem to get it wrong is that we believe in our own delusions while judging the delusions of those around us. We feel that our delusions are right and other people's delusions are wrong. And we identify with this self, this I, that's having the delusion as if that matters more than what other people are actually experiencing. But for the purpose of these conversations, I don't want to intellectually dissect ideas, beliefs, or specific terminology. There are countless places where these discussions are being had. And if you're listening to this and feel that my associating non-duality teachings with what I'm experiencing is inaccurate, I would love to discover a better way to express it. I shy away from value-laden terms as much as possible, like awakening or enlightenment, that this is a better place to be than I was before. And because I use the term studied lightly, because I've read all sorts of specific religious and cultural takes from all different points in history of mankind. I try to stay away from any specific way to describe, any specific list of terminology, and I try to make my expression more general, encompassing all of those ideas without using the specific words. I greatly value all these ways that humankind has found to express these experiences, and I understand completely why so many people follow one particular historical teaching, one path or religion. I find the truth of my experience in all of them, and in other things as well, including science. But since for me the experience came first, before the words, I find it too limiting and somewhat divisive to adopt any particular terminology to the exclusion of others. Before I discovered non-duality, I struggled to figure out how to explain this, to find the words for it. What do I call this? And the most non-personally biased description, the most neutral I could come up with was a paradigm shift. And it's been important to me to let go of the belief that this shift has any particular greater meaning, to try to separate as much of my own personal bias as I could, to try to be this with no judgment of it being right or wrong, without the opinion that others should experience this if they truly want to have meaning in life. And I need to do this to observe the being of this and try to understand if it truly served me best in this material world. So far, it really has. For maybe 9-10 years now. And this is a constant process because I haven't arrived anywhere and I never will. Any and all feedback anyone listening would like to add to this journey is gratefully welcomed, because nothing that happens inside my experience is important at all until it's externally creative expression happens and creates an external reaction from those who experienced me. And after all of that, I discovered a quote that made me laugh, attributed to the Academy of Advaita. It says, "Duality is non-duality in any state, because every atom of duality is light." So maybe that wasn't such an incorrect statement after all. And one of the things I love most about non-duality and the way to try to describe this is almost anything that you can say the opposite is also true. And that is absolutely beautiful to me. So thanks for listening and for engaging if you feel like it. I love hearing your perspectives and feedback, and if there's anything you would like to add to the conversation, let me know, and I'll do it here in this fourth one.